Well, in today's episode, we're going to read the final story. I know originally it was supposed to be the Batman Year One script. I didn't feel like finishing it. I didn't feel like reading it. to be quite honest. So I decided to read one of my favorite stories that is in the book The Greatest Batman Stories Ever Told, and the story is the autobiography of Bruce Wayne, originally presented in the Brave and the Bold comic, which is, by far amazing story by Paul Levitz and art done by Joe Stanton. And for me, it's an amazing story. It's real. I feel like a real proper ending for Batman. As oddly as that sounds, I mean, Batman's going to be around longer than probably I'll be alive. And, it's kind of the truth. I mean, Batman's been around for 80 years, 81 years, in fact. And he's going to be around for a very, very long time. And, for me, I really like the story of the autobiography of Bruce Wayne. So, let's get into it. So it picks up with the words, picking up from the epilogue, and become my wife. A very special tale of the Golden Age Batman presented by Alan Burnett, writer, Joe Stanton, and George Freeman, artist. Alan Burnett wrote it. My bad. It was 1955. Police Commissioner James Gordon was waiting. He has had so many nights before on the rooftop of the police headquarters. I think I was more than a friend to Jim Gordon. I was his secret self. The adventurer he might have been had not been taken other paths. He once told me he lived in a dreaded the night. He would light the bat signal and no one would answer, because the day I died, part of him would die too. That night, it all came true for him. Rat. Jim, with a shocked expression on his face. God in heaven, no. Jim runs to the rooftop, held back by a police officer. Commissioner, no. Hayner, let me go. He may still be alive. He may need help. Batman stands behind him. I don't know what you think you saw, Commissioner, but if that chemical odor is any clue, I know why you saw it. And that box you're holding for me may be any chances. Gordon hands Batman the box. He opens it. Inside, a small voodoo doll of Scarecrow. It arrived today, postmark coincidences with the peril of date. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, obviously. It contained a timed release gas designed to cause hallucinations, Batman said. Good luck. Thank you. Jim. Yes, one of the greatest fear. Paroled, they go in bad and come out worse. What are we doing but detaining them temporarily, Jim said. Batman throws his bat rope. We do what we always done, Jim. What we have to do. Get some sleep. I'll check this in the Batcave. Batman glides off with the bat rope. The year not half over already, and the Joker... Sorry, the year is not... I jumped ahead. The year not half over already, and I have rounded up the Joker, the Penguin, Two-Face, all either paroled or escaped. This all seemed a lot easier 15 years ago. And ever since the Justice Society disbanded. I remember the 50s Batman was part of the Justice Society of America. Originally, I think usually now in continuities, Justice Society is either on a different Earth or existed in the 50s before the Justice League came to fruition. I really like that continuity thing because I remember in the episode of I think either Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, they go to a different Earth, like parallel Earth or something, and the Justice League meets the group of heroes, but it was you kind of tell it was originally supposed to be Justice Society of America. But the writers and artists really didn't have... they didn't get the approval or something that they couldn't do the Justice Society. It was really interesting. It is Batman's thought bubble. It just... been me, Robin, Superman, and Wonder Woman out here trying to hold things together. Funny, though, I'm not nearly concerned about the Scarecrow being at large. As I am about attending Linda Page's wedding tomorrow. First Clark and Lois, then Jay Garrick, and Joan Williams. Lord, has it really been 15 years? It was the Batman who drove into the night. But as usual, it was Bruce Wayne who had to face the day at the estate of Linda. Linda's industrious father, sorry. Linda sits in front of the mirror. She sees Bruce's reflection. Bruce, what are you doing here? Bruce holds his cigarette pipe. Because back in the Golden Age Batman, he used to smoke tobacco out of his tobacco pipe. I guess to look classy and Aristocats, I guess, is what they were going for, and I always thought that was a really interesting look. I remember they did this Batman fan film, which is like tribute to the 30s, 40s, 50s Batman, and you have like Bruce Wayne and Jim Gordon sitting like Holmes and Watson, smoking a tobacco pipe. I don't know why, I just never really cared for that, but I love, as much as I love the Golden Age superhero stuff, I always thought like the tobacco pipe smoking Bruce Wayne is kind of, I don't know, kind of interesting. Oh, that's kind of cute. Ha ha ha. Bruce, well, according to the traditions, it's bad luck for the groom to see the bride, but tradition doesn't say the same things about old boyfriends. Same old Bruce, Linda hugs him. I'm so glad you came. I was a little afraid you wouldn't want to. Bruce, Linda, it's been 10 years. I know, but the things I said back then. Linda, I had no right trying to change you. I just couldn't figure out why someone with your intelligence would want to spend his time playing polo. Bruce, there's no way I could explain myself to you, Linda. Linda, is that it? Still how you want to be remembered, Bruce? Just as another name on the social register? Linda continues to say, I don't know what secret pain you're hiding, Bruce, but whatever it is, maybe not, but I wish you'd try. I do hope you make peace with it. Bruce puts his pipe in, takes a puff of smoke, and walks out of the room. Bruce walks down the stairs. Damn this Playboy pose. I just lost Julie Madison. Because of it, I lost Linda. It began as lark amusing to play at being a rich idler while pumping antiques like Jim Gordon for information the Batman could use. Bruce walks out of the mansion. It has a big-ass mansion. Later it was necessary to establish Batman and Wayne as two distinct personalities, since both traveled in the same circles, and as somewhere along the way Bruce Wayne became frozen into someone I never intended him to be. I always like this sort of like thought bubble. You get to see like the inner thoughts of Bruce. Like you get to see him like sort of say like, okay, Batman and Bruce Wayne are two distinct different personalities. But he realizes they merged into one person. And I kind of like that idea. He realizes that something that, was supposed to be separate now became one. Like, I sort of like that, thought in his head. I sort of just like that. I don't know why. It always battle duality. You kind of got to see that in like Batman Forever, and you got to see that a bit in the Burton Batman films, and I think with like Batman and Batman Returns, you sort of got to see Tim Burton sort of go over that evolution of Bruce Wayne and Batman's separate dualities and how they collided. I kind of wish Burton would have done that. And I know he was doing that not just with Batman, but with Catwoman and Penguin. And I wish they would have just let Burton do his Batman universe films and Catwoman film and see where it would have gone and went to. And sadly, it just never got to happen because people didn't like the dark, mature subject matter and stuff. So for me, that just it sucks that it didn't get to happen. And his Catwoman film, reading about it and hearing bits of interviews and stuff, it really fascinated me where he was wanting to go. He wanted to explore the DC universe, like Green Lantern's going to pop up. It would have been really interesting just to see where it could have went and gone to. It would have been really cool, in my opinion. So, anyway, Bruce sits next to, I assume it's Dick Grayson and Alfred behind him. Look at them, all shallow, status-seeking hypocrites. Yet I have to pretend to be one of them, sympathize with them, when their stocks drop half a point. God, he's just insulting people around him. My only real friends that know me as Batman is Dick, Alfred, and Kathy Kane. Kathy Kane, for those who don't know, Kathy Kane is now Kate Kane, the Batwoman. She was known as Kathy Kane in the Golden Age, 1955 and stuff. Not the Kate Kane. And I did get to see Hush in the Batwoman show. Oh boy. Matt Reeves could do better. Except, what do I do when Dick graduates college and Alfred retires and Kathy gives up being Batwoman? What do I do when I'm finally alone? It was the first time I admitted to myself what I had made of my life. The ceremony began, and so did the nightmares. Spiders, bugs, snakes pop out everywhere. One woman shrieks in terror, seeing spiders. Oh my lord. One man yells, "Get it off of me, please. Someone get it off." Dick. Bruce, what? Bruce thinks crime. I'll explain on the run, Dick. Let's go. The snake lunges at a man. It's going to bite me. I assume Kathy Kane. I assume. Luckily for me, I hung out with... one woman yells. Luckily for me, I hung out with snake charmers at the circus. Better find some place to... Oh, yep, it is Kathy Kane. To switch into my Batwoman and try to curl the piano. Spiders. Yeah, I hate spiders. Yesterday I had to kill a spider in the shed. I hate spiders. Scarecrow pops out. I love this old version of Scarecrow. He has like the matted hood. He has like the hood And he has like the hat. And Gotham did the whole look of it. Like when I saw it the first time, I was just like, that is Scarecrow right there. I love the old Scarecrow look. I hope they do Scarecrow right in the film. They bring like the whole Scarecrow look. I love that old look, like the whole. He looks like a fucking actual Scarecrow, which is something I hope they do right. Same goes for like Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Like I hope they do the right look and all that. Instead of like, I know they always try to go for like the burned, flesh and bone showing of Harvey Dent. Like I hope they just actually do like the acid where you just see his face melt and burn and like, go for that actual look instead of like just like him burnt, and stuff. Like I'm just saying my opinion. Scarecrow yells, "My, what an idea! Cross-section of humanity. Hard to find a crowd in which someone doesn't suffer from the acrophobia and ophiophobia and hymophobia." Okay, so many phobias. Okay, I get it. Like Scarecrow's smart, but like are respectively fear of spiders, snakes, and worms. Ugh. Batman kicks Scarecrow. Still school teacher at heart, eh, Crane? Always lectures. Robin. No wonder he became a psychopath. Probably too boring to get tenure. Sorry, it's just like you could tell it's like an old comic book because like the ink and stuff. Scarecrow. Too late to class, Batman. I thought I might draw you into the open at this affair. Miss Page is known to be one of your friends. Scarecrow sighs. That's right. Drive it into the ground, why don't you? You people don't know when to leave a good metaphor alone, do you? Oh, wait, sorry, yeah. Can I catch a course too? Yeah, Scarecrow says that. Good Lord, Crane. Scarecrow jumps on a cloud. I'm not making this up, he does jump on a cloud. Are we both getting a little old for... I thought it was just a flora bomb disguised to slow me down. But in the next instant, I watched in horror as Robin and Dick literally vanished into the thin air. Robin, Batman, are you all... Robin! For me, the nightmare has begun. Batman says, Batwoman. What happened to Robin? Batwoman. Robin? But for everyone else, Batwoman. Robin's right here beside me. Robin. Batman, can you hear? Batman. What are you talking about? He just vanished into thin air. Oh no, not you two. Batwoman vanishes in front of Batman. Batman yells, Batwoman! Batwoman! Is it Linda's her name? I think it's her name, Linda Page, or something like that. I kind of forget her name. Like, she was just one of those characters that you sort of like forget about easily. Like, Linda runs up to Batman. Linda's like one of those characters you totally forget about existed. Linda says, Batman, are you alright? What's going on? Batman, Linda, stay back. You could be next. No. Linda vanishes. She says, I don't understand. This is like soap opera writing, by the way. Scarecrow, you did this. Somehow. I'll find you. If it's the last thing I do. You understand? Batman yells. Robin, Batman. We're okay, we're here. Batwoman, Robin, it's no use. He can't see, hear, or even feel us. Batman leaps off. I love how he has like the bat rope. And it's supposed to be like attached to something, but all of a sudden you see in the background it's not attached to that thing. Sorry about that. And to sneeze. Dusty old book. Crane's bomb. It must have triggered his deepest subconscious fear. The fear of being alone, Robin said. There must be something we can do for him, Robin, Batwoman said. Robin, I wish there were. Crane didn't create the fear. It just aggressive it all. We can hope. Sorry. I thought it was Linda saying something. Robin. Is that he comes to grips with it before it comes a grip to him. Scarecrow. So Batman, your demon, your room 101 is autophobia, is it? Interesting. The more you search for your friends, the more hopeless it will seem. And the deeper into the delusion, you will sink so deep you shall never escape. Batman. I was alone, truly alone for the first time since my parents had been killed. I need an ally, someone, anyone, to help me find Dick, Kathy, and Linda. I went to the police HQ, but Gordon was nowhere to be seen. I went to Wayne Manor. Alfred was missing too. I called Metropolis. In the other end, Kent's line was only silence. Lois picks up. Hello? Hello? There were no friends to turn to. But what about an old enemy? After the accident had freed her from the amnesia that plagued her for over a decade, during which she had to first become the Catwoman. Selina Kyle surrendered to her sense, to her serve her prison term peacefully. There had always been an attraction between us. But would she help me now? Batman visits Selina. Selina. Batman, I barely remember what I did as the Catwoman. I don't want to do I don't know, I don't want to. Don't ask me to put on that damn costume again. Batman. It could mean parole, Selina. And you see, I don't have anyone else I can turn to. Too much of my world seemed to be shrinking, dead ends, locked doors. Selina looks with a concerned look. Shrinking, yes. I know that feeling. Batman holds her costume. Will you help me, Selina? Selina looks at him, then grabs her costume. 2 hours later, Gotham University. Why would Crane be here? Selina said. Batman. He taught here before he turned to crime, and that doll he sent was wrapped in a piece of college newspaper. Like the Joker, he needs to confront me, deliberately providing me with clues to find him. Selina. Or Catwoman. Yeah, better at Catwoman. He must be crazy. All I ever wanted was to avoid you long enough to get away with the loot. Batman. I know. After psychotics like the Joker and Scarecrow, you were no idea how refreshing it was to deal with someone who was just in it for the money. A white tiger appears. Catwoman. I'll take that as Batman. The white tiger roars. Catwoman gets her whip out. Smacks the cat in the rear end. No time to use my catnip. I have to draw its attention. Sorry, Leo. It only hurts for a second. The tiger turns towards her. Can't blame you for being angry, Leo. I'd be too if someone painted me all white still. Catwoman throws a smoke bomb. Tranquilizing powder. I hope you don't mind a little tranquilizing powder in your face. Selina comforts the cat. All of the inhuman Crane must have disguised him, rendering him reverently immobile on that pedestal. Then activated his electric shock stimulus to remote control, sending the poor thing into a rage just as we approached. Batman. You really love those animals, don't you? Selina removes the white paint. They're better than most people. I'll remove some of the grease paint so he won't suffocate. And when I get my hands on that maniac who did this, I'll pluck the straws off of him with a cat-o'-nine tails. Batman looks up and points at the roof. Scarecrow hangs. Batman. Nice of him to leave us a road sign. Catwoman. We'd be crazy to follow it. Batman. We don't have much of a choice. You take the rear entrance, I'll tackle the front. Batman. Odd. Selina had amnesia during her Catwoman years, yet she seems to recall much of it very clearly indeed. Could she have regained her memory as well as her Catwoman personality? Can I really trust her? Catwoman, God help me, it feels good to be back in action, but Batman's acting so strange, so obsessed. Is there something wrong with him? Or am I just letting my feelings for him make me worry too much? Entering the main hall, we found a voice machine. Today's class will focus on some of the most estratic phobias human beings are prey to. Scarecrows. I'm speaking, of course, the fear of material something. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Things over which we have no control. Fears such as something phobia of the abnormal, dread of the sun. Sitter phobia, fears of stars. What? Even phobia, which is, I should think, rather self-explanatory. Comments. More common, the astrophobia, fear of lightning. The pyrophobia, the fear, of course, of Batman. Selena. Fire. Batman. Catwoman yells Batman. Batman's back is on fire after Batman pushed her out of the way. Lost several seconds getting my cape off. Dear God. Let him be all. Related phobia. Catwoman's thoughts. That can't be the same recorder. Scarecrow's on the radio. Batman throws a batarang. No, wait, sorry. Catwoman throws a catarang. Catwoman had a catarang, that's right. She had the same, almost same items as Batman. She even had her own, utility belt. And she had her own catarang, which was a Catwoman cat head symbol ring where she just throws it, and it had sharp, cat claws at the end, at the end of it, instead of the bat, sharp edges. It had cat claws, and it was, I wish they would have kept it, because it was so cool, in my opinion. And it was it was blue, and it had red eyes, and it was so cool looking, and I wish they would have just kept it. But I know that they had to give Catwoman her own, tools and stuff, but still, it would be cool if they just kept one where she would just, in case she's running from somebody tries to grab her, she just throws it and knocks him the fuck out in the head. I wish they would have kept it. It would have been so cool. So Catwoman throws her catarang, saying, "Shut up." Catwoman, my God, I was only an arch criminal around who didn't deliver lectures. But I wish they would have kept it. Man, it would have been so cool. They need to bring that back, the catarang, in my opinion. They should bring that back. But I love the tools that Catwoman had in Telltale. I love the one thing where she grabs the elevator thing and, goes up. That was so cool. They should add that in the movie. And by the way, for those who are wondering, how did Batman Year One movie end? Batman fights in this abandoned building, which was basically the same proper ending for the comic. Gordon fights Flash. After Flash walked out of a drug house, beat the shit out of him. Loeb and his gang members try to kidnap Anne and the kid. Batman stops them. Selena becomes Catwoman. Bruce gets his fortune back. Catwoman watches it on TV as she's robbing a place and smiles and says, "See you soon." Then she blows a kiss to the TV screen as Bruce is talking. And that's it. That's how it ends. That's the ending of it. I wish they would have, I don't know what to think of it. The ending was not that... You could tell, it ended, they were hoping for a sequel, when the movie's made. Because they basically left it off for, They left it off for, two different things. They left it off for a Batman sequel and a Catwoman spin-off film. That's where they left it off for. They basically gave it an ending where it produces a sequel and a spin-off. For those who, of course, know the comic, they did do a sequel to Batman Year 2, which was, of course, renamed Fear the Reaper. And Catwoman got her own prequel spin-off / prequel book, which was Catwoman, Her Sister's Keeper, where Batman, of course, shows up to help Selina. And they did a Legends of the Dark Knight spin-off / sequel. Never read it. I've been looking for it for years. Never got to find it. Then they did Batman Year 3, where it introduced Tim Drake as the new Robin. And yeah, that's basically it. And Catwoman did get her sequel to the story, Her Sister's Keeper, which was Catwoman Year 2, where Jim Ballant, of course, did the artwork. And yeah, that was basically it. That's basically the small Millerverse of the Batman Year 1 stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the comic story, shall we? Shortly in the campus medical center, Batman is removing his shirt as Catwoman is looking for a first aid kit and bandages to patch up his wounds. Catwoman: "I thought that outfit of yours was flame retardant." "Retardant, yes. Indestructible? No. If you hadn't smothered the flames in time. Catwoman looked shocked. "You saved me from the hail of good Lord." "Bad burn," Batman said. Catwoman: "No, it's just all this scar tissue on your back." Batman: "Oh, that occupation hazard. 15 years of fighting will do that to a person." Catwoman: "Does it hurt?" Batman: "Sometimes you have to learn to live with it." Catwoman: "No one should have to live with too much. No one should have to live with this much hurt. Why do you do it? Why did you start?" Batman: "I don't know why I answered, but I did." Batman: "My parents were killed by a petty thief when I was 10. For some, the memory of that would fade in time. For me, it just got more vivid. I had to do something to make living with it easier, to get the anger out." Catwoman: "Anger makes you do strange things, doesn't it? So you became Batman, and you've spent your life avenging their deaths. Batman gets moving. Yes, I won't lose Robin and the others the way I lost my parents. I'll find them, if it takes my life to do it. I love Joe Sans art. I wish they would do an animated. I know they did sort of like do an animated The Brave and the Bold, which is obviously, you can tell it's not just Stan's art, but it's like the 50s Batman. Scarecrow sits on the rooftop. Well, not sits, but stands on the rooftop. Fires from his gas gun. An unknown to us at the time. Scarecrow. Time to move on. Advance studies, Batman. Ha ha ha. My first gas bomb. Awaken your subconscious fear. But these can trigger specific phobias of my choosing. The gas has the relative destiny as the air itself, so it will linger, creating pockets of fear all over the campus. You're bound to pass through a few of them. You search. In your search. Of course, the effects are only temporary, but combined with your anxiety over your missing friends, I think we can look forward to the complete emotional breakdown before the night is done. My nose is runny. I hate allergies. And doesn't help my neighbors cut grass right before it's gonna rain. Fucking idiots. You know, Batman, if the Scarecrow makes Gordon see what he did last night, perhaps your friend's disappearance will also be some kind of illusion. I thought of that and dismissed it. It was real, Selina. It is real as the rope I'm holding. Catwoman. Emotionally real, perhaps, but Batman, I'm telling you, it wasn't no trick. I know reality from illusion. The subject is closed. She's right, though. She's right, it is an illusion. That cuts it. He's definitely not himself under some kind of spell. Except how do I convince him of... Oh my lord, what? Selina was wrong. So high up, what am I doing up here? Oh god, the ground, it's so far away. How do I get down? How do I Selina, let's go. Batman, Selina. Batman catches her between his legs. Easy, I got you. This is absurd. I have never been afraid of heights before. It's gone now. The Scarecrow. He must be. Batman, Selina. Do you feel it, the darkness closing in? It's going to crush us. It's going to kill us. If we don't... Catwoman. No, not the darkness. Look where we are, Batman. Look around. They get confusion of it. So much open space. What fools we are. Crane could pick us off like flies. Batman. You're right. We've got to find cover. Sudden phobia. Running to the nearest building. The university library. Selina looks. I feel like a fool running like a... I hate the feeling so helpless. I became the Catwoman, so that I'd never have to be at anyone's mercy ever again. And now look at me. Became the... I thought as much. The story. That story. You told me, Selena. How a plane crash gave you amnesia. It was all a lie, wasn't it? Catwoman looked away. Damn. I love this panel because she looks away and she's like, damn it. Yeah. I'm sorry, Batman. I didn't want to lie to you, but I just didn't see any other way out. Batman, out. Out of what? Catwoman. You first knew me as the jewel thief. Call me the Cat Lord. It seems a million years away, doesn't it? Batman. What you didn't know was that I have been the Cat for years. The Cat for over 2 years since the end of my marriage. Batman, That's right, in the 1950s, Catwoman, Selena Kyle, was married. And she was in an abusive marriage. And she became a jewel thief to survive on her own, to get away from the ex-husband. And it was really interesting at the time when they wrote that story, because in the 1950s you thought of Leave It to Beaver and other shit, where the woman was a stay-at-home mom and she couldn't have any independence to do things herself. So in the story they sort of wrote Selena Catwoman as this overcoming darkness type thing. I always thought Catwoman was more of a heroic character than Wonder Woman, in my opinion. Catwoman is more of, I think, a positive role model than any other female character in comics, in my opinion. Overcoming great obstacles and darkness. And for me, I've always thought that. Everybody always says, well, Harley Quinn's a great female role model. It's just really? That? No. I always thought, Catwoman should, hopefully Catwoman gets her just dues with the Batman movie, and the possibility of a Catwoman spin-off movie. I hope it happens. I know there's been a lot of people excited about the Catwoman ride finally happening and at Six Flags and stuff, and I'm excited for it. I hope they build it. I know they're building it because nothing should stop them from working. And I look forward to it one day. To see it. It's going to be a magnificent ride. I know it. I know it in my heart. It's going to be the most fun ride ever. I look forward to it. It's going to be a very beautiful purple ride. That's what the park needs. It needs a purple ride. I wish they would do something with Batman. Redesign it or something. Make it upgraded, But anyway, let's get to this panel. I love this panel. This is my favorite. Her tells the story to Batman and Dan with embracing hug. Selena, I've been very young. It was a mistake. A bad one. My husband was very wealthy. He also liked to beat me. When I divorced him, he responded by using his connections and try and ruin me financially, professionally, emotionally. I hated him and wanted to get back at him. The only loss he understood was marital loss. So one night, when he was out of town, I sneaked into his estate, ransacked his office, his safe, and the jewels he bought me, and then kept them. It felt so good. Too good. It was so easy to continue, to convince myself that I deserved the things I stole, because of all the pain I've been through. Catwoman's thought. But why the charade? Why the amnesia? Oh, Batman's asking. Selina, because I was trapped. I wasn't Selina Kyle anymore. I was the Catwoman. Because I was a 30-year-old and I didn't want to die without love, without children. I wanted to start over again. Is there something wrong with that? Batman puts his hand on her shoulder. No. Funny, we both choose our paths out of anger. We both found ourselves trapped. You lost Selina, Kyle, and I lost someone else. But you found a way out, and I don't know how to get out. Selina turns around to look at him. Don't you? Batman looks at her as she looks at him. They embraced in a hug. I never wanted to hold on to someone as much in my life, but Selina, this isn't right. Not while Robin and the others are still missing. We have to find them. Selina. Sorry, Catwoman. Batman, listen to me. They look up at the tower, the bell tower, and they see Scarecrow standing. Catwoman, the Scarecrow, he affected your mind. They're not really... Batman, look. There he is. Come on. Catwoman yells. If they were gone, wouldn't it be in the papers? Wouldn't the police be here? Wouldn't it... Batman, Crane, you demented jackal. Where are they? Catwoman, oh God, he's going over the edge. Batman tackles Crane. Blast you, Crane. Where are they? What? No. You can't. You can't. It was a dummy doll. Batman, blast you. Where are they? Robin, Kathy, Linda. Catwoman yells, Batman, please. I turn to face her. It was filled with sudden fear. Batman, no, go away. I can't stand cats. Catwoman, oh no, Crane gave him allophobia now, fear of felines. I don't have those. I love cats. I don't know how the hell anybody would be afraid of a cat. It's kind of like the dumbest phobia, being afraid of cats. That is so dumb. Catwoman, and I feel something happened to me too. Oh God, he got me too. What the hell is that? Chirophobia? Fear of bats? Dumb. Who'd be afraid of a bat? Besides Chinese people now. I'm just kidding. I'm joking, by the way. Catwoman. Batman, we got to fight this. And you got to fight the illusion Crane fed you. Batman, Selina, please stay away. Catwoman, don't you see? All your life, you've been terrified of losing anyone else the way you lost your parents. So you created a world to find yourself. A world of conflict and conformation. A world where no one could ever get that close again. Crane's using that fear, can't you see? Batman, then all I have to do is catch Crane. It will be alright. Catwoman, no. You spent 15 years catching the enemy, fighting, chasing, capturing. But this time, the enemy is you. Throwing punches, solving fancy puzzles. That won't help. Not this time. Batman looks at her. Maybe you're... Good Lord, Selina. No. You're starting to fade like the others. Selina. Then there's only one way, my darling. Only one way. Catwoman removes her cowl. Look, the cat is gone. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Now it's your turn, my darling. Take away my fear. Batman, I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to be done. But a lifetime stayed. I couldn't. I had to. Batman removes his cowl. Bruce says, Selina, oh God, Selina, I almost lost you. But Crane, he's still out there. I should catch him. Selina, don't you always? If you can wait. Batman kisses her. Yes, I suppose it can. I found and captured the Scarecrow, of course. But more important, that night I found Bruce Wayne. And I found the woman who would share my life for the next 20 years. Bruce and Selina, of course, got married. Alfred, of course, is in the background celebrating. She has been gone now for many months, but it still seems impossible to me. Her death was pointless, tragic, but I have long since given up trying to find the meaning in death. The meaning is in life, not death. Selina's life was full of meaning, and it was of love and spirit and courage. It was my time, when my time comes to join her. I would only hope for some could be said for me. And they're buried, yeah. And that's the end. I think for me, this story was, in my opinion, the best ending for the Golden Age Batman. The Golden Age story. And, you know, it was just, it's, I think, an amazing way to end the Batman. But of course, like I said, Batman isn't over. It's been around for 80 years. 81. I can't forget the 81. And it's going to be amazing once, like, 20 years down the road, Batman will be, 100 years. Would you imagine that? 100 years, in 20 years from now, Batman will be 100. We've already been in for an hour reading the story, of course, talking. It was great, thank you. It was a great run we had for the podcast. For those who don't know, the final story means it's the ending for... it's not going to be the ending for good. It's just the ending for now. I will be taking a indefinite hiatus from the show for a while. It's nothing against anybody, and nobody caused it. It's just... I feel like it's just time to sort of take a step back and reevaluate things for a bit. Your show is always amazing. Thank you. I feel like it's time to find something else. I'm not gonna... It's just gonna be a short break. That's what it's gonna be. I have a lot of things to do. And a lot of wacky adventures to go on. I don't know where, but I think once things open up, that we'll be taking the show on the road to go somewhere. I think one thing I'm waiting for is comic book shops to open back up and see where their books are going, where DC's going, where Marvel's going for comics and stuff. And I think for me, I'm taking a short break just to wait to see if it opens, because things are slowly... Okay, safe. I'm going to be safe. I will say this. We'll be back. Let me look at the calendar. We'll be back the 18th. How's that sound for everybody? We'll be back next Monday. And I think with next Monday, it's going to be a fun show. One thing that's going to be exciting is I found a comic shop that is not in St. Louis County. It's actually kind of a far drive. And I will say this, it's going to be an amazing comics run. Like, of course I got the Curse of the White Knight. I need to get book 7. The day schools get open here. I know, like, everything's opening back up slowly. Everything I've heard is, like, opening, but it's mayors and stuff are, like, fighting to, like, keep it closed and stuff. Like, it's insane how things are slowly, like, opening, and people are still, like, fighting it and stuff. Like, I've been talking to some people at Six Flags, and the one in Great Adventure, I think that's what it's called, is slowly opening, but it's going to be opening for, like, small groups of people. You have to like reserve. You have to like reserve to get into the park, which I think is utterly ridiculous because it's not getting a lot of people to work. You know, like you're gonna reserve to open the park, and it's like, well, where the hell are you gonna go? And stuff, and it's gonna be ridiculous. Like with the reserve thing opening, it's going to be like Holiday in the Park, where there's like small people, like small amounts of people are there, and half the rides are going to be closed and stuff. And the thing is, it's like here, you know, the park should be open by. The park should have been open, I think, by last month or so. Like, and they should have been open, but they weren't. They were closed. And for me, I think it's just utterly, you know, ridiculous. And Disney is Shanghai Disney is opening. They're practicing social distancing, and it is ridiculous how they're opening things up. You know, now they're of course talking about baseball season's going to finally start. It would have started like months ago. You know, like opening day, like everybody was just sad how it's opening day, and you know, and there was no baseball game. Comic-Con, of course, canceled. Not just for this year, but next year, which is dumb. And it's dumb how everything's just, you know, it is and stuff. Anyway, one thing that happened that I read, let's get into the geek news. Anyway, let's see. Something uploaded. Lilo woke up. By the way, if you're looking for Catwoman stories, fanfiction stories, again, I recommend the Catwoman _fanfic on Instagram. 6 chapters have been uploaded on the Catwoman _fanfic. It's Catwoman, one word, _fanfic. Called the Cat Blood. And 6 chapters have been uploaded. I'm still waiting for chapter 7. I want to read chapter 7. I really enjoy the story. I really enjoy, including the involvement of Bastet, the cat goddess, the Egyptian cat goddess, and the involvement of Hush. I really enjoy the chapter, and I can't wait to see what happens next. It's exciting. Catwoman fanfiction account. I highly recommend it if you're on Instagram to follow. It's a fun Catwoman story. It's very uniquely written. The story is really, like, the pacing is amazing. I can't wait to see what happens next. Especially the involvement of Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess, is really amazing inclusion to the story for Catwoman, because Bassett is sort of like, I think there was twins, Bassett and her twin, I forget the other, let me look up the other one's name. I love also looking up on Wikipedia, cats in ancient Egypt. I think those are so awesome. Let's see. She also had her sibling, her half-brothers, Horus and Aura, and her parents, Ra and Isis. And she also had offspring and consort, and her Greek, it's pretty cool. Like, here's a fun fact. The Greek goddess, she was also had a connection to Artemis, which is, I think, is really cool. I'll post part 7 today. Alright. I can't wait to read it. I know she had a sibling. Let me look it up. I know she had a sister. Yeah, she had a evil sister called Sekhmet, the Lion Goddess. Which I think the art they did an artwork, which I think is really cool because it shows like Bassett stood in the sun. Her sister, her evil sister, Sekhmet, the Lion Goddess, stood in the moon. So, it's really cool artwork. So, anyway, check out the story Cat Blood on Catwoman _fanfic on Instagram. Again, amazing story. If you're a Catwoman fan, this is your story, and I think it's an amazing story. I recommend it for anybody who loves Catwoman, who loves Egyptian cat history as well, because that's awesome inclusion for history and different take on Hush, which I think is far better than what Batwoman writers are going to do. So check out Catwoman. Catwoman's a far better story than Batwoman on CW. So part 7 will be out today. Wow, I can't wait for it. So anyway, we'll be back. I said Monday, but I'm gonna do a show. Tomorrow. I'll just do tomorrow's show. We'll talk about random things. I've been watching a YouTube channel called Paranormal Nightmares, which is a ghost adventures type show on YouTube. I've watched the top 5 scary ghost videos, and I saw their video on the top 5, and I decided to check it out. I don't know why. I just decided to check something out. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll do a show tomorrow. And I'll talk about... I honestly don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So anyway, I'll just see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe. Wash your hands. So, see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Heart emoji.